Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good to see you. Sorry, we're having a bit of a palaver of a morning. There's stuff going on and phone calls happening and all sorts of things happening here. So I'm a little bit late and I may be a little bit disjointed this morning for a couple of minutes here and there. Good to see you all. Great to see you all. Give me 1 second. I'll set everything up. All right. Let's say Sean, retired RN, Rachel's here. DJ, who else? Angela's here, Peekaboo Cockatiel, Marilyn Landis. Marilyn Landis is here. Sean says pages, CBs, phones, and solar panels. Okay. Yes, they did find his body, so. Ugh. LMS says, so glad you're on. I needed this. My son got in a wreck. He's thankfully okay. The car is totaled. She's okay today. Not too bad. Toe seems to be sorta okay. More explosions, too many pages apparently. Alright, let me get set up. Let's talk about the, missing woman, Jessica Barnes. I've been given a whole bunch of information overnight, which completely changes the outlook of this missing person case. Yesterday when we were talking about it in the afternoon, it didn't really make any sense. We're sitting here going, well, it's a missing person, but they didn't give us any information. They couldn't even tell us where she was last seen or what she was, doing leading up to that point. Not very much information, but overnight, news has started to sort of leak out to media organizations from people close to Jessica. Now, a follower on here, someone who sends me a lot of stories and things like that, sent me a thread on Reddit with some posts on it. Now, I've removed the poster's name to protect their identity, not to steal credit, just to protect their identity because I don't know who they are or what their relationship is. But um, and it looks like maybe that person got in contact with the same person because there is a new article on an independent news site which I've never heard of, but hey, good work writing the article. And I'll do that one here. It says here the family of a 20-year-old South Carolina woman has scheduled a prayer vigil this week. It should be tomorrow on the Thursday. They say Jessica Barnes of Pendleton, South Carolina, has been missing since August 1st, 2024, and her family is seeking the support of the community as questions persist about where the young woman has been for the last month and a half. And let me go down here. So her mum is Cecilia Vivara. That's her mum. And it says she told this particular media outlet that she had requested a welfare check or a wellness check for her daughter after she stopped answering her calls and messages sent to her husband, Brandon Barnes. Like, he also wasn't answering anything to do with, like, where's my daughter? How's everything going? Normal stuff like a family would be worried about. Okay. Says here, neighbors of the couple who married in January of this year reportedly told the her mother that that Barnes insisted his wife had traveled to Romania to visit her father, and the mum says he's lying nonstop whenever he's opening his mouth, referring to her husband. Vivara is extremely concerned for her daughter's well being as she is aware of allegations of physical abuse against her, purportedly involving Barnes. No alleged assaults involving Barnes were reported to police, and no charges have been filed in connection with the allegations. Sure, maybe you have to say that to keep under the legal, line, but she's also missing. So just because you don't have something reported to police, we also have a missing woman. Uh, Jessica's family planned the prayer vigil, which is very cool, which will be held at Pendleton Square. I think it's tomorrow on the Thursday, in hopes of rallying the community with hopes that through prayer and unity, Jessica can be brought home safely. I reached out here. This news agency reached out to Pendleton Police Chief Robert Crosby for an update on the status of the investigation. According to Crosby, his department will be providing an update later today. I reached out to him too. He ignored my email. He ignored my email. Didn't get back to me. Not even a reply to say, "Yeah, we'll be releasing a statement today." Just didn't even get back to me at all. "Oh, he's Australian? Oh, I don't wanna talk to him." It was, pretty BS. So, screw that guy. I'll do my own update. So it says here, this person says, "I know the media is not covering this at all. That's why her friends and family are trying to get the word out that this is serious. This is not a runaway. I have learned all this through Facebook, through her friends and family. She was living a very quiet and secret life. Her parents did not even know she had married the guy. That is why it says ex boyfriend on the missing poster. When they filed the report, her family, they thought that she was still dating him. She married him secretly in January. Her mother just found out that they were actually married." So apparently, her parents, according to this poster, and I've removed their details just to protect their identity, her parents are stuck in Romania and they are having a hard time getting help searching for their daughter. Her husband beat her up to the point of giving birth to I don't want to say that word live on air, but several months ago. And then she turns up missing. He doesn't report her missing for a month, and he tells her neighbors she went to Romania to visit her father. See, the reason I'm okay showing you this is I was able to verify that media report to what this poster is saying. So I wouldn't have brought it to you unless I could have got two sources for it, and I was able to get that other media place. They got very similar details. It says here her mum finds out that she never went to Romania. Her mum sends the police for that welfare check. Now he tells police she went to Michigan. Nobody in Michigan has seen her. Her bank account is empty and her phone has been disconnected. This whole time he has a pregnant girlfriend on the side. I can't verify that, so please take that with a grain of salt. And has been bringing other women back to the house. Please take that with a grain of salt. I can't verify that either. And has lied to police several times. Now he is pulling the concerned husband card, posting photos of them kissing online and photos of the ultrasound of the baby that he allegedly, according to this poster, caused to pass away. She has not been seen or heard from since August 1st. So I really would have liked to have heard back from uh, Mr. Crosby, but I sent that email. Here, I'll show you. What time did I send that email? I sent that email yesterday at 4 p.m. So very early in the morning, South Carolina time, and I never got a reply for comment in the entire working day for South Carolina from 6 a.m. in the morning to whatever it is now at night, 9:24 at night. No one reached back to me and would give me a request for comment. I wasn't rude. I just said I wanted to know a little bit more information because the release and the poster has such few details. Can you comment on any of can you comment on any of these concerns that I have? And I listed things like no last known locations where she frequents. Is she originally from the area? Does she have family nearby? Where could she have been heading? Any known medical issues that could prevent her returning on her own? I was just trying to get him to try to engage and try to give me something, because there's just piss all information about her through official channels. I said, I understand that you may not have these details and it's an ongoing investigation, but I would appreciate you trying to address any of these points if you could. And no reply. No reply. But it's interesting to see that this particular news agency, I don't know who they are, Fitz News, were able to get a reply from Robert Crosby today. So it seems that Robert Crosby and his staff are being very picky about who they reply to with any sort of updates or information. Pretty BS considering they're a public service. They don't get to play media merry-go-round, and that kind of stuff really annoys the shit out of me. So sorry about the swear word, but it does. Let's see. I haven't seen Laura T in a while. I hope she's doing okay. Laura G is I have not heard from her in almost 2 months. I do know that she was in hospital at one point. Laura T I haven't seen for a little while. She was here last week, but I haven't seen her since then. Hey LMS, how are you? All right. Obviously doesn't know who Ping is. I'm going to be sending a follow-up email after we get out of here. I'm going to keep pushing for information because, like I said, they don't have the right to just play picky whoosy whoever they want to reply to. It's whoever asks for comment, they should be giving the same answer to everyone. It doesn't matter if you come from Reuters News, AP News, or you come from the 2-Bit media organization that is in downtown that has one staff member. It really doesn't matter. And if someone requests for comment, it's pretty easy just to say, "Hey, we have a press conference coming up tomorrow, 9 a.m. You can get details then." It's a pretty simple reply. All right. So I think this is definitely some more details. Definitely more than we were expecting. I didn't expect it to be like this. I actually found out this information. It must have been a couple of hours after we got off live last night. One of our people who watched the show was emailing me frantically this Reddit thread. Let me have a look, see if I've got it. I just want to tell you what it's called. Reddit. I don't really do a lot of Reddit. I don't have an actual Reddit account, and so often people send me things. I mean, I read Reddit, but I don't have a Reddit account. So I'm not up to date on all the alerts and things like that, but I do read different true crime threads. Jessica. Okay, so the thread was posted in the missing persons subreddit, and it was titled "Missing DV Victim Jessica Barnes, 20 years old." So that's the thread that our viewer sent us. A YouTuber and his wife found that KY shooter person, Mr. Couch. That's pretty cool. Did they really? That's wow, well done to them. See, isn't that shows you how important like these type of like online thing like it's a double-edged sword, right? We've seen idiots online, including you can call me an idiot if you want. Uh, it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes YouTubers and that TikTokers or whatever, they help a lot. And then on the other side of the coin, they can do some really silly things and hurt investigations too. So I sort of get it. STL card says not confirmed. It's him, correct? Give me 1 second. I did have an article here. It says here body found near site of Kentucky interstate shooting, believed to be the suspect. So yeah, they believe it. They say officials have discovered a body near the site of an interstate shooting in Kentucky that left multiple people injured. Investigators believe that the body is Joseph Couch, the 32-year-old suspect in the shooting. They say KSP is still working to identify the body found near exit 49. Articles found on the body have been linked to the suspect. I-75 shooter Joseph Couch. Still no confirmation that it is him. More updates to come. But I like it here that did they mention the YouTubers who found them? No. They said officials found the body. Isn't that fun? It's fun when that happens, right? Officials have discovered a body, they said.
State police are giving us an update on a body that was found in the woods in Laurel County, Kentucky, where they believe that gunman has been hiding out after shooting people driving down the highway. Let's listen in.
Found an unidentified body in the deep brush behind exit 49 in Laurel County. Troopers had been searching in the area all day and had noticed vultures in the area. They continued to try and locate the exact nature or the area that the vultures were circling in. They began at that time while they were in there, they began to detect a strong odor of what appeared to be a decomposing flesh, whether it could be animal or human. While moving through the thick terrain and trying to locate the smell, troopers heard voices, and the troopers immediately identified themselves in the woods. They identified themselves as state troopers and asked that the individuals that were also in the wooded area identify themselves. There was a couple, Fred and Sheila McCoy, advised the troopers that they were also in the area searching for Joseph Couch. Almost immediately after that interaction between troopers and the McCoys, the troopers and McCoys stumbled upon an unidentified body. At this time, we still have troopers and personnel out there processing the scene. There were articles associated with the body that at this time we feel is Joseph Couch. Laurel County Coroner is there present, and then the body, identified body at this time, will be sent to Frankfort for positive identification tomorrow. But again, we do have those articles associated with the body that we do feel is Joseph Couch. You know, I want to recognize the McCoys because they've been very cooperative with our troopers and provided troopers with relevant information. You know, this is still an active investigation, and we'll have more updates as we go forward with this. But, you know, I would like to acknowledge, you know, we're very confident that this brings the closure in the search of Joseph Couch. But again, I want to reiterate the partnerships that we had with everybody here. Laurel County Sheriff's Office, London PD, FBI, the Marshal Service, ATF.
I'll leave it there, but good news. The McCoys are the YouTubers. Okay. Pretty cool. I like the fact that they found him. It was a retired police chief, 40 years of service, and his wife. So were they actively brought on into the investigation, or because they're retired, they just decided to help and they found the body? Because they're two different things. I mean, if you're the police chief for 40 years, do you ever stop becoming the police chief? I guess maybe not. You just keep doing it because you've done it for so long in an unofficial capacity, maybe. But pretty cool. I'm glad that is over. Felt like that dragged on for a long time. And I find it interesting that it wasn't too far from the site, in the vicinity of exit 49. So I don't know where he could have been hunkered down where they didn't find him, but seems like everyone was correct in that he wasn't alive probably too long after the shooting happened. Seems like they may have been searching for a body for a while. Oh, the Hatfield and McCoys. Yeah, that's like really old American families, right? Like everyone has seen those like documentaries and movies about the Hatfield and McCoys. Interesting. Are they related because of their last name? A YouTuber finally found someone. Now we have a data point. They can never tell us that we don't do crap again. No, I mean, it's pretty rare. Although a couple of them have. A couple of TikTokers have found people. A couple of YouTubers have found people. If it wasn't for those caravanning people, not caravan, van life people, they would never have found the body of Petito. They would never. Like that video that they had that showed, laundry and the van and whatever. That video was instrumental. It really was. I mean, was it a bit of luck of the draw? Sure. but they had the smartness to go back all through their video footage because they had been in the area, and they were just a really, really instrumental piece in shortening that time frame by like probably weeks or months trying to find Gabby Petito. Never. Grey nomads. Is that the word? Okay, we call them grey nomads. Okay. Red, White, and Bethune. Yes, they did a great job. They were on a documentary for Gabby Petito. I saw them, and they explained the whole thing. Great job by them. The fact that they had the like the mind to go back and be like, hey, let's scrub through our footage for days and around this time, and they were finally able to figure something out. Yeah, they did well. I like the interviews they did. Well done to them. They really did. They cut down that search timeline by could have been months. You think about that area where Gabby Petito's body was. Imagine if they couldn't make it shorter, like smaller, by like a 5-mile radius or something. You look at how they were searching for this guy on I-75. Now you take it out into one of these national parks. They could have been there for months looking for her. Like, really, for real. They could have been there for forever trying to find Gabby. And that video sort of narrowed that area by margins of a lot. They did a great job. Yeah, so they're the two stories out of today. I'm happy to find out more about Jessica Barnes, and I hope we find out a little bit more about her husband. I say that in air quotes, husband. Brandon Barnes. Anyone who doesn't report their wife missing for like weeks and weeks, always the red flags go up, right? We saw this in the Mamta Kuffel one. Red flags, right? He didn't report her missing for like 5 days, 7 days, whatever it was. And we were just like, something's wrong here. This guy didn't really report her missing at all. It was the family pushing for a welfare check. Her mother, Cecilia, requested that welfare check on her daughter after not getting any answers to phone calls. Oh, okay. Thank you, DJ. So they look like they're all into this type of like, is it like the cowboy era? Is that the Hatfield and McCoys? Or is it the civil era? I don't know. Not very good, but this looks like maybe one of the companies they own, Hatfields and McCoys Museum. Pretty cool. Closed until further notice. 25th of June. They said the family has lost interest in running the museum. How sad. As the longest running museum of its type. It's not nice. Yeah. Then he says, remember when Dog the Bunny Dog the Bunny Hunter, no, Dog the Bounty Hunter found Brian? Totally. I remember that. That totally happened. It's a real thing. It's 100% a real fact. Sean says, but she said she'd be back, so I didn't worry. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I often like, if my wife says like I'll be back at 5 p.m. and then she's not back till like, next Thursday, I often just go, that's how life goes. No, if she's not back by 6, I'm like, what the hell is going on? I don't trust anyone who won't report their spouse missing after like a few hours. There's like, our lives are so compressed, right? We go here, we do this, we have our normal routines. We sort of know like what's normal, what's not, if something feels wrong. If you're not reporting your wife missing that evening, there's something up, because no person I know who's a loving husband or a loving wife would just be like, oh yeah, he just didn't come home tonight. Like, I don't know anyone who doesn't think that's bizarre. Like, does that happen often in your household? Is this a thing that you do? Is this some sort of role play? The cheating husband or something? And you're like, hey, stay out of the house tonight. so that, it makes our love life a little bit more spicy on Thursday on date night. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's a thing. Or maybe it is, but not for me. Danny says, if my daughter doesn't call me within 2 hours, I'm calling the cavalry. Right, right. Yeah, that's the same. If I don't hear something by like 7 p.m., I'm calling the cops. I'm going to be like, hey, okay. So I will bring you more of the vigil tomorrow, as long as it is tomorrow, as long as my dates between Australia and Carolina are not getting messed up. It should be tomorrow, which is the Thursday, and it's happening at Pendleton Square. Jessica's family planned the prayer vigil, which is held at Pendleton Square in the hopes of rallying. Yes. All right, let me grab this. By the way, Robert Crosby, get back to me, you nice person. Send me an email. I would appreciate it. Free call that we do 360. All right. Da, da, da. All right, I just want to double check because, Ping gets dates confused. Yes, the community is holding that prayer vigil for Barnes on Thursday, September 19th at 7 p.m. It'll be held at the Pendleton Square located at 105 Exchange Street. So I actually know we have some people who live in South Carolina in the chat. Now, South Carolina is a big place. It's a big place. I don't expect people to drive like 2 hours from home. Yeah, lunch feeding. Yeah, bait fish. Okay. If you live near Pendleton and you can go to the prayer vigil, you want to take some video or something and send it back to us and just pay your respects to the family. I think that would be nice. Wait, wait. Wait, let me reverse that. Go to the vigil, show your support, and let us know what the vigil was like. That's what I meant. Not like spy on these people. Send us all these secret videos. Put a video recorder in your tie and walk around like no one knows you have a camera. No. Just go there, show your support for the family, show the police that people give a crap, and if you can, show us what it's like there. That'd be cool. Sorry, sometimes my brain works faster than my mouth, and then I just say things, and I'm just like, wait, that's not the correct order to say that in. According to my mom, I actually am related to the McCoys. Do you have a 6-shooter? Were you born with it? Do you carry it everywhere with you? Is it like a 1900 or 1880 Colt? Blaze Fairchild. Hey, Blaze, how are you? I saw your message, Blaze. Where is it? I read everyone's messages, even if I can't get a reply to you. I definitely read everyone's messages. Blaze said yesterday, I'm catching up today. Great show, Ping. Thank you. Thank you. Pretty interesting about the Ghost Encrypted program. Yeah, she said, Blaze says, it's a crying shame every time some good cybersecurity is found, the criminals turn it into their own use. I think it's like anything. It's sort of like VPNs and Onion. Onion was developed by the military and then got co-opted by everyone else. And yeah, thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. She left a really long comment last night. And so did someone called Dark Bloom Official. I don't know who that is, but they left a comment on our Jessica Barnes story yesterday saying, hello, yes, she is from the area. It's all over Facebook. I've met her a few times. She is my ex-spouse's cousin. She does live in South Carolina and they believe her husband knows what happened. She recently lost a baby, and according to police, family, and friends, the husband has multiple relationships and women who live with him. Also, the husband has a history of abusing her and not letting her contact police. It's odd that Jessica has just disappeared. and no one reported it for over a month. But family lives away from where she lives, so her husband said that she originally moved away to Romania with her father, which is false. Now is saying she could be with friends and family in Michigan, which no one has seen her. He is so clearly full of ish. There you go. So thank you for that comment, Dark Bloom Official. I appreciate it on yesterday's video. Hey Penguin, how are you? Peekaboo Cockatiel says, no, I don't have our family's old guns. My brother got them. Okay. Marlene Clausen says, your friends join us on Trisha's. She was happy. What? Your friends join us on Trisha's. I don't know what you're talking. You mean the people that came here yesterday from Excited Utterances channel, Hella? You mean those people? They were really nice. It was really nice to see them. It was really kind of them to drop by. Oh, hey Shebe, you were too tired last night to chat? That's okay. Hang out and listen to the show. Alright, so we move on for this now. Move on. Let's move on, my friends. Let's see what else I've got on my list. By the way, let's talk about Diddy for a second. He was denied bail today and denied appeal, so that should be interesting. Let me just grab that for you. He's remanded in custody. That should be very interesting. Let me play this video from ABC News, but I am going to have to stop it a couple of times due to fair use policy on YouTube.
In the Sean Diddy Combs case. He's back in federal court today in Manhattan, this time trying to secure bail. The music mogul was denied bail yesterday after his arrest on sex trafficking and other charges. Prosecutors say that the charges stem from years of sexual abuse and threats against women. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges, and he made that plea yesterday. I want to bring in ABC News' Alex Stone, along with ABC News legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer for more on this. So again, we're still waiting to hear the judge's decision today because, again, his defense team is trying to get him out on this $50 million bond. And Alex, it does. Oh, my producer just told me in my ear he has been ordered held again. Okay, so the Judge Andrew Carter has decided that Sean Diddy Combs will be held again in a federal facility. So let's jump off right there here, Alex, starting with you. We're learning from our Aaron Katersky, who's in that courtroom, that already this judge was pretty skeptical of some of the arguments that the defense team was making on Diddy's behalf.
Yeah, and that order just coming down right now, Kana, that through the day today, it appeared that the judge was from the beginning skeptical about this, talking about that video that was seen around the world in L.A. of Combs allegedly attacking his then girlfriend. And the judge saying, what's love got to do with that? As the defense had been saying that was a relationship that was deteriorating and that it was nothing more than consensual activity that then had deteriorated from there. But prosecutors said that Combs is a danger, clear evidence of dangerousness, a long pattern of abuse, they were saying today. But the defense offered the sun and the moon, saying, we will do anything if you allow him to post bail, $50 million bail. They would have off-duty police outside his home, control who comes and goes, take away his cell phone, anything that the judge was willing to do. And the word just coming in now, the judge saying, no way, he will remain in jail.
He certainly will. And again, sharing reporting from our Aaron Katersky that is in that courtroom, he said that Combs did not appear to react, but that he had his eyes cast downward while he was seated at the defense table when this all came down. And so, Brian Buckmeyer, to you, the judge said the defense proposal to this bail package was insufficient, and that the government, on the other side of that, provided sufficient evidence that Combs is a danger to the community and a danger to obstruct justice and intimidate witnesses. And Brian.
That is very interesting. They tried to do so much. Oh, we'll have off-duty police, we'll have GPS monitoring, we'll have private security, we'll have this and that. No females at the house, only family members, and he'll live under like secured accommodation. And the judge was like, with your power and influence and your access to things that normal people have no access to, things like flights and, other things that people couldn't get to. They're like, I think you're safer in a federal penitentiary. So we're going to keep you in jail until your next court appearance. Entitlement issues. Yeah, the long list of things that he was willing to do, almost like, hey, we're willing to throw money around to try keep me out of jail. And the judge was like, no. Yeah, no more ruining hotel rooms with baby oil for you, Diddy. I found that disgusting. They found like what was it, a crate of 100 bottles of baby oil or 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Whoa, what the hell? Let me see. Diddy. Oh, this is interesting. Diddy's baby oil freak-offs were a lifestyle, not a crime, and do not make him the new Epstein, according to the rapper's lawyers. Sorry, I was gonna cough there. Diddy's baby oil-soaked freak-off orgies were a lifestyle choice, not a crime, and do not make him the new Jeffrey Epstein, according to his lawyers. He is innocent, he told Chris Cuomo, and they said he was denied bail and ordered to remain in pretrial detention. The lawyer added a lifestyle and being present in activities doesn't mean he committed a crime. No, but when you look at the totality of the evidence that's come out so far, he's shown a propensity to commit violence when things don't go his way, which is a key building block of the prosecution's case, is that one, he committed violence against people who didn't want to participate in these type of freak-offs, and two, he did things like transported sex workers across state lines, supplied people with narcotics, and just abused people for his own entertainment. So I mean, you can try and make that point, but you're not covering the totality of the allegations. You're only picking a very small part, and you're trying to put lipstick on a pig here. It's not working. So yeah, here 1,000 bottles of baby oil were discovered during searches of his properties. Why? Does he get a discount if he buys 1,000 and not 100? If he buys a pallet of baby oil, is it cheaper than buying 100 of them? Does he get a bulk discount for buying 1,000? I don't understand the baby oil thing. It's such an American weird thing. Baby oil? I don't know. It's always in all those Hollywood movies and stuff like that. Like, American Pie and other kind of, sex comedies and stuff like that. Me, I don't want to glisten and then slide around the room like it is a bedroom slip and slide. I think that would be terrible. Imagine if you had silk sheets. It would literally be like a human slip and slide in a bedroom. They're saying here, so it's not a crime to abuse women or agree to pay them for their services. Yeah, and then not pay them. Even if his lawyer argues that sex work is legal, he did in fact hire them and supply them with narcotics. Not just that, he also abused them, which they have evidence of. So pretty terrible. The fact like he gave them IVs because this freak off was so strenuous, like an NFL player, they needed IVs in their arm. Maybe he's just super ashy, maybe. Rachel says he thinks he's untouchable. Yeah, I find it funny when these people who are used to the finer things in life and used to using their reputation or money to get around obstacles, when they finally meet a brick wall, it's very confusing to them. It's very confusing. They don't really understand. They're like, "Wait, what do you mean no? What do you mean this is not gonna like I'm not gonna get my way?" And I think that's sort of what he got in court today. Sorry, I know you guys lost sound. It's me coughing. It's okay. I don't want you guys to hear it. Um, he's gonna get touched now. Well, he might be able to smuggle in his baby oil. Maybe his security can sneak it in his jail pocket. Maybe that's how they'll get it in. All right, no more Mr. Diddy. He's in jail. He'll be fine. We'll see him at his next court appearance. Good for him. Have fun in jail. I hear the food is terrible. I hear it's absolutely disgusting. So, hold on. All right. So we talked about Long Island serial killer the other night, and I find this very interesting. Um, a very, very interesting sort of crossover between two serial killers is John Bitroff, and he originally was sort of pinged as the Long Island serial killer, but then a few things didn't really make sense, and he sort of was pushed off to the side. Well, now, according to him, I think he's urging the DA to take another look at his case after Rex Heuermann is charged in a killing that looks like something that he was charged with. Very similar MO and the way it happened and the way the body was found. And he's saying, I told you I was innocent all along. I didn't kill these women. It was obviously Rex Heuermann. He did it. I'm innocent. So he's trying to leverage a probably maybe a new trial or something like that. So here, I'm going to take you to Newsday, and I think this is very interesting.
On June 6, 2024, Gilgo killings suspect Rex Heuermann was indicted on murder charges in connection with the death of Sandra Castilla more than 30 years ago. That prompted attorneys for this man, Manorville carpenter John Bitroff, to question whether Heuermann could also be responsible for the two deaths their client was convicted of and is serving time for.
So they always insinuated that John was likely responsible for Sandra because one person killed all three women.
Rita Tangretti and Colleen McNamee were sex workers whose strangled bodies were discovered in East Patchogue and Shirley in 1993 and 1994. Lisa Marcosia is the deputy bureau chief for the Legal Aid Society Appeals Bureau. She's working on Bitroff's case.
All three women were found in a wooded area. Their legs were spread apart. Their hands were above their head. They were each missing one shoe. Colleen and Sandra both had their shirts pulled up over their faces. And the DAs also claimed that there were wood chips on all three bodies.
Newsday reporter Grant Parpan.
Ray Tierney will say just because Tom Spoda many years ago said he thought those cases were so similar does not mean he shares the same opinion. One of the ways that the district attorney's office today says is different is that Sandra Castilla was mutilated. She had a lot of sharp force wounds on her body that don't exist at the other two crime scenes.
Marcosia sent this letter to Suffolk District Attorney Ray Tierney, requesting for a second time access to Castilla's file. We believe that there is exculpatory information contained in that file that will help to establish that Mr. Bitroff did not murder Rita Tangretti and Colleen McNamee. The DA's office responded, saying the materials requested have no relevance to the Bitroff convictions, so the request is denied. Bitroff's wife sent this statement to Newsday, saying in part, I know my husband, John Bitroff, is innocent. We pray that we can bring him home. Heuermann's attorney declined to comment. Newsday.
That is courtesy of Newsday TV. Thanks to them for that. If you want to watch it, head to their channel on YouTube. What do you think about that? The fact that the DA, who we all know from the Rex Heuermann investigation, what do you think about that? That he wants to try and get a hold of those files to try and prove his own innocence. It sounds like to me that he wants to try and push responsibility onto Rex Heuermann by finding some sort of technicality within those files that he can say, "Hey, it wasn't me. Look at how similar these are to what you did, like convicted me on. I always said I was innocent. It was never me." Look, this guy, look how many women he killed. Way more than me. This guy killed like a billion. Maybe he killed these ones too. Was he was operating at the same time. So I can see why he would try that angle and why his legal team would have a go at it, because it's a very interesting defense. But hey, I think you'd have to get a 1 in a million shot in court to try and flip a conviction in this way, saying that there's new evidence with the charging of Rex Heuermann and this new information coming out on those particular cases. Now they're being assigned to him. That makes me and my conviction sort of unfair and unjust, and needs to have another look at it. Danny says Usher's parents let Diddy have him. Oh, geez, Danny. Yeah, I know. So I don't know what you think, but I think that would be a very weird time in court. So they were saying that all three women, Sandra, Rita, and Colleen, were all killed within the same time frame. All three women were found in a wooded area, their legs spread apart. Their hands were above their head, and they were each missing a shoe, sort of like a calling card. Colleen and Sandra both had their shirts pulled up over their faces, and the DA's office has also claimed that there were wood chips on all three bodies. Any logical person would believe one person were responsible for all three murders. Yeah, this is very interesting. Here, I'll take you to another Newsday seems to be covering this better than anyone. This was a long, no, actually not that one. Let me take you to their website. So there's Mr. Bitroff there. Seeks review of case. Let me go here. Actually, we'll go to the New York Post. They say Long Island killer John Bitroff urges DA to take another look at his case after Rex Heuermann charged in eerily similar killing. Yeah, I mean, I can get why he'd want to have a go at it. They said John was convicted of the 1993 murder of Rita Tangredi and 1994 killing of Colleen McNamee, and is pushing for exoneration after Heuermann was indicted in the 1993 killing of Sandra Costilla, a murder Bitroff was long suspected of committing. Just because you were long suspected of committing something and then they change their mind and find evidence to charge someone else doesn't make you innocent of the other women that you killed. It means that it means there was two killers operating in the same time frame, just so happened to have the same disrespect for women and the same sort of MO a little bit, but that's when you need to look at the finer details and how do they differ. And that's what they're trying to say in that thing. 3 of them were found with their legs open, with, obviously trying to humiliate the women in death by showing their lady parts. And, the other one had wood chips and things like that. They're trying to show you that the finer details show you that they're not the same. And it says here, Ray Tierney, who was not in office when Bitroff was charged and convicted, denied his request. He says, I've looked at those cases, and if I thought there was a problem with them, I would do something about it. Fair enough. He says, before his arrest, Suffolk County investigators had long publicly said they believed the person responsible for the deaths of Tangredi and McNamee was responsible for the killing of Costilla. They said they had previously filed 2 unsuccessful motions to overturn Bitroff's conviction, and they sent the DA a letter on June 6, the day Heuermann pleaded not guilty to a second-degree murder charge. In the letter, she asked prosecutors to turn over records for Heuermann related to the cases, including any forensic analysis conducted from the crime scene, all information obtained through devices that are relevant to all 3 slayings. Here's a photo of him from back in the day. I like that. That's very interesting. He doesn't look like that today. He was a young man back then, a younger dude. So yeah, they're just saying, basically, they're not going to give him the documents at all. They don't believe they're connected, and they don't believe he has a chance to overturn his conviction. Rachel says, hold on, guys, my throat's really bad today. Hold on. All right. Hugney says he has to try something, I guess. I mean, if you were stuck in jail on like for the rest of your natural born life, you're probably going to try something to get out, right? Anything you can try legally to try and twist and turn and get out of this jail, you're going to try it, right? And it probably blows his mind that there was another killer operating in a similar area to him at a similar time frame. But from what we know, it looks like Heumann was operating for a much longer period of time, and he was much more prolific. He killed so many more people over such a longer time frame and was never caught up until a year ago. This guy was eventually caught, but not the same. Okay, I can't repeat that, but okay. DJ says release him and Scott Peterson. They both said they didn't do it. Did you guys see that Scott Peterson interview? What's it called? Like, there was the other night. Hold on. Scott Peterson. By the way, the other night I said alleged killer when I spoke about Scott Peterson. That was a misspoke or a misspeak. I didn't mean to call him that. He has been convicted, and he is serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole for the murders of his wife and unborn child. So, no, he is a convicted killer. And where is that? Here, the LA Times. So there's a new thing here called Face to Face with Scott Peterson, and in the entire thing, he just tries to make excuses about why he couldn't have killed his family. He's like, I didn't kill my family. He says during the opening moments of the 3-part docuseries, he says, Peterson, 51, has maintained his innocence since his arrest shortly after Lacey Peterson's remains were discovered on the shore of San Francisco Bay in April 2003. Face to Face, after revisiting Lacey's disappearance on Christmas Eve 2002, spends considerable time re-examining the police investigation and offering alternate theories that could exonerate her husband. He says, if I have a chance to get the reality out there, if I have a chance to show people what the truth is, if they're willing to accept it, maybe that takes a little bit of hurt off my family, and that would be the biggest thing that I can accomplish right now. No, the biggest thing you could accomplish right now is show people that you have a little bit of, remorse and admit to what you did. That's the biggest thing you can do right now. Both documentaries arrived following headlines from earlier this year that the Los Angeles Innocence Project had stepped in to represent Peterson. The nonprofit organization stated at the time that it is investigating his claim of actual innocence. In March, the LA Innocence Project requested new forensic testing be done around 15 pieces of evidence they said could exonerate Peterson. A judge ruled in May that just one of those items collected 20 years ago, a piece of duct tape recovered from Lacey Peterson's thigh, could be retested for DNA. The Face to Face docuseries elaborates on this possible evidence, as well as leads that Peterson and his supporters claim paint a different picture from which the prosecution used to secure the conviction. The documentary also suggests that the media frenzy that emerged around the Modesto couple at the time of Lacey Peterson's disappearance contributed to his being found guilty, despite what Scott Peterson and his allies argue is lack of evidence. And around his affair with Amber Frey, he says, I was a total a-hole to be having sex outside our marriage. During the so-called police investigation, I really did everything I could to bring my family home, and that included keeping my cheating with Frey from people. I didn't tell people because I wanted the search to continue. I guess I understand why she tried to turn it into a relationship after the fact and made claims that it was something more, but it simply wasn't. He says he still feels shame and guilt about cheating on his wife. Well, I'd feel more shame and guilt about my wife being dead, but sure, you do you. Peterson says he still remembers his last morning with Lacey. Yes, I was, tying her up, dumping her in the river. Is that what you mean? Oh, no, you mean, oh, you were making breakfast or something. Okay. He says, I drove away expecting to come back that afternoon and have our wonderful Christmas together after we both had fun mornings. No, they were gone. I say goodbye to Lacey and then my family was gone. Okay, good for you. Good for you, buddy. Ain't no one believe you. Ain't no one believing you. I don't know a ton about this. I know a little bit about it, but it's not it was sort of before my time in true crime, unfortunately. And it wasn't something I really did a lot of shows on or something like that. It was way before my time. GDR says, I'm truly not supportive of this Innocence Project. Why don't they check on real people in jail who have not committed the crime they were convicted of? I think they want the profile. They want to champion some sort of case to get a lot of publicity. So they chose one that they knew would be divisive in Scott Peterson. Hugney says, calling the mistress the night. What? Calling the mistress the night of. Oh, yes. Calling the mistress the night of. Yeah, I get you. In my opinion, she was already gone that morning, probably. Yeah, sorry, I don't believe him. And I think there's far too many inconsistencies that he would really need to overcome, and I think it's very difficult to overcome a lot of them. Might be able to he might be able to fix 1 or 2 points out of the trial, but to fix like all the evidence and like as they say, climb that mountain and get over it and then show everyone that it's not the truth, I think would be a tall task. It really would. All right. So there's that documentary. You can watch it if you want. It's called Face to Face. Face to Face with Scott Peterson, premiering Tuesday on Peacock. So it's probably already out. Probably came out last night. I'm sure Trish will do a show on it at some point because she loves the Scott Peterson trial. Thank you. I appreciate the people giving thumbs up. It is very kind of you. Watch the behavior panel on this guy's interviews. Scott Peterson, I'm sure they've done it. All right. Shall we what time is it? We got a little bit more time. I'm sorry I came on late today. It was a bit of a bonkers morning. We had stuff going on and things happening. It was a little bit of a crazy day. All right. Out of Carolina as well, we have a missing guy. Not often we do a lot of missing men. Often a lot of missing ladies. Ross Alford, last seen September 12th on Anderson Mill Road in Spartanburg, Carolina or Colorado? CO? No, Spartanburg County. Sorry, I'm not American. It takes me a minute. So they're saying the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office is searching for a missing endangered man. Deputies report the 42-year-old Ross Alford was last seen leaving a residence on Anderson Mill Road on September 12. He is 6'3", 240 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, and a goatee, and was seen wearing a dark-colored T-shirt, khaki shorts, and tan Hey Dude style shorts while carrying a plastic grocery bag, according to deputies. Here's that photo of him carrying the plastic bag in the Hey Dude type shorts. And there you go. That's him leaving, and they never saw him again. That is concerning. Deputies report Alford had moved from Charleston only a week before and had left his residence without any of his prescribed medication or phone. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call Sergeant Catherine Davis with the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office at 864-503-4571 or email her at krdavis@spartanburgcounty.org. So I hope they find him. There's a nice photo of him. Last seen September 12 on Anderson Mill Road in Spartanburg County. So if you see this guy, you see him around, please call it in. It's a little strange, right? He just moved to the area. He took a plastic bag with him and didn't come home, didn't take his medication. It's almost like because he doesn't know the area, maybe he could have got lost trying to find his home again. You know, like when you move to a new area for the first time, everything's a little like unsure. You have to learn how to walk back home. You have to learn where the shops are. You have to learn, what's the quickest way to drive back home or what is the way to get to wherever. It takes a while. The fact that he'd only just moved there makes me concerned that maybe he took a wrong turn somewhere and doesn't know how to get home. Maybe he's stuck somewhere. Maybe someone hit him. It's very concerning. Let's see. Let's have a look. Where was he seen? Anderson Mill Road. Anderson Mill Road. Okay. And no. All right. Let me have a look on this map. Like, what's in the area? Spartanburg County. So it's a pretty big road. There's a lot of bushland around it as well. Look. So it goes all the way down, and there's just a lot of greenery. Hold on, guys, 1 second. Yeah, so there's a lot of areas here where you would think he can. So it goes into town here. This is sort of like you can see all the townhouses right here. And it turns into State Road down here. Hey, there's a Dr. Pepper factory here. And then it turns down to the Moore Duncan Highway down that area. There's a lot of places to get lost here. Like you've got all these type of farms. There's a little tiny river here, the North Tiger River. There's a waterway right here, right next to the road. Goes through the bridge too. Goes down here. Concerning. So there is housing, but there is some good amounts of bushland too. Look, right here behind the houses. Right there. Right here too. So I hope they find him. It looks like if you did take sort of a wrong turn, and if you go here, you get closer to town, and you get into the city down here. Here you go. You got a loopway down here on the highway, and yeah, Spartanburg Toyota. But you just get a little bit out, and you get a lot of like greenery, waterways. It's a big search area. That road goes for a long way. All right, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. There's his photo. Okay. All right. I think we're going to have to start wrapping up. Marlon Clausen says, been to this area and it is rural in some places and also much industry. And another obvious alien abduction? I hope not. Hold on. All right. I hope that's not the case. Let me just check something before we wrap up for the night. But I'll be back for a late show later. All right. Hey guys, I love you all very much. I think we're just about done. And I will be back for a late show at about midnight Eastern, and we'll do an hour and a half, something like that, 2 hours. We can talk about other cases, and it should be a good late show tonight. We might be able to talk more about the pages if you guys want to talk about the pages again. Let's see. I don't think we have any other comments. Hey Sienna, how are you? Let me just check one thing. Did I get all my stories for the morning? I did. Okay, hey ladies and gentlemen, if you want to head over to Web Sleuths for the night, they got a really good guest on, and yeah, I'll see you for the late show a bit later tonight. Hey, thank you to all the people who support this channel, the people who subscribe or leave comments. There's people who watch on the replay crew and leave a comment after the show. And then there's people who support this channel with super chats or a Ko-Fi or a PayPal. I really appreciate it. Those people are very kind and very generous, and it's really appreciated. So I will see you a little later. Yeah, there's a few people going live at 10:30, so I hope you visit one of those channels. And thanks again to Hella for yesterday. That was very kind. It scared the hell out of me, but it was very kind. And yeah, I hope we get more information on Jessica Barnes later. About midnight, about 12. Hey, Emily, I hope your husband's feeling better, my friend. All right, good night, everyone. See you later. See you in a little while.